Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Wiley, and today we're going to be looking at Don't Starve. This is a game that's been really popular lately. It's like a survival, kind of crafting, crazy, open world. I don't even know how to describe it. It's a very multi-genre game. So I'm just going to be starting out like perfectly vanilla. You can customize your world. I'm not going to do that. You can change your character. I have quite a few unlocked, but I'm going to stick with good old Wilson here, just to start off. And let's go ahead and boot this up. Now, I'm going to try to play this in a way that allows for maximum survivability, because that's really the name of the game, is just to survive for as long as you can, at least in sandbox mode. There's also an adventure mode, but that's I think it's good to get like a base set up in sandbox before you even sort of delve into adventure mode. So yeah. Now I have a very sort of specific strategy for how I set up my base. Alright, so here we've got Wilson and Maxwell, our evil demonic antagonist. Just advises us to find something to eat. Alright, this is actually looking really good. This over here is I guess like a savanna biome. And these contain, usually and hopefully, these big hairy creatures called beefalo. I'm gonna walk along the road here. As I explore, it's always good to start out by just exploring as much as you can. I'm just gonna start gathering materials. You can never have too much of this basic stuff. So grass, saplings, even flowers are good. Of course, some early food. Got carrots and berry bushes. Now what I'm looking for here is one of these biomes. This is like a meadows area, and meadows areas contain naturally spawning flint, which is really important for making tools. And I need my meadows biome to be next to one of these savanna biomes with these beefalo creatures that they have. And as long as I can find a combination of that, I can make a really awesome base and start putting together, I don't know, sweet stuff. Eventually I want to try to set up farms and just kind of relocate a lot of resources over to the base so that I can survive through the winter. That's really your first obstacle, is just getting ready for winter, which comes in about 20 days into the game. Alright. So let's just keep gathering resources. Now, I need to go back to that savanna biome. Let's hit tab to bring up the map real quick. Now, these light green areas are meadows, and these yellow areas, the savanna, obviously. So I'm going to try to flesh out my exploration of the savanna there, and all the while gathering resources. I'm getting sort of close to night. The only thing I really need, though, to survive my first night is a few logs, which I can get really easily. I have enough flint to make an axe. I'm not really worried about that. I can even start gathering logs during dusk. Alright. Okay, so here we are back in the savanna here. Now, if you've never played this game before, it's good to be aware of a couple of basic elements. These roads allow you to travel just a little bit faster. You'll see I'm picking up speed, so it's really useful at the beginning of the game to use them to explore. And also, they can help in evading enemies, so it's nice to have access to a road. Okay, so I've explored most of this area. It looks like there's a little more. I'm still not seeing any beefalo, which could be a problem. I may need to do a little bit more exploring. Okay, now we've got spiders over here. These spider nests are dangerous. They will grow over time, and once they get to their second or third stage, it's really difficult to take them on. Okay, so just so that I'm not wasting too much time, I'm going to go ahead and craft an axe real quick and chop down a couple of trees. Another good gameplay mechanic to be aware of is if you hold space, Wilson just sort of automatically harvests anything in the area, and if he's got a tool in his hand, he'll automatically use that tool on anything. So if I'm near a bunch of trees, I can just sort of hold space, and he'll kind of go around harvesting them all. I'm also using WAS and D to control Wilson, just because that gives me a little bit finer control of him, instead of just clicking around. Especially when you're in combat, you always want to be using the letters to kind of dodge and stuff. Alright. Okay, so one kind of handy way to explore is to just follow the edge of the map. Either that or one of these roads. I may want to follow one of these roads. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back up towards... I'm going to go back north. Since it just looks like there's more meadows up north here. And I want to kind of stick close to the meadows. I want to ideally create my base in a meadow, just because it's sort of... You have access to almost everything you need when you're in a meadow. It's a good idea to be there. Now, it can be good to gather petals. You can use them for a lot of stuff, and they eventually become rot. They rot fairly quickly, and you can use rot to fertilize gardens or farms and plants and things. But you also want to leave a fair amount of flowers around because they don't respawn very fast, and one of their best uses is building up sanity, which is one of the 3 values you have to keep an eye on here. Alright. So I'm getting close to night here, but I'm in no rush to build a campfire. Without light at night, you do die really quickly, but got plenty of time. Nothing to worry about. I've got 9 logs, so I'll be fine with that. Might as well just use this time to explore. I'm starting to get hungry. You get hungry faster than... You know, you need hunger. You need to eat pretty much every day, especially later in the game, but I've got enough food to tide me over. 8 carrots, 6 berries. I'll just cook some of them up at night. Now, one of the more complicated facets of this game is the way that food works, because you can cook all of your food. Oh, amazing. Okay, here we've got buffalo, beefalo, buffalo, beefalo. So beefalo just crap all over the place, and you can just pick up their manure, which is the reason that you need them. You can also shave them, which can be made into some clothing and stuff, which will keep you warm during the winter, but really their primary use is just their defecations. Okay. So, I do want to ideally build my base in a meadow. But as long as I know I've got these beefalo close by, that's all I really need to worry about. And I'm also not... Oh shit, it's starting to get dark. Okay, so let's go ahead and build a campfire real quick. And I'll build it by these trees so I can do something at night. Alright, there we go. Cool. So, nights can be kind of boring, but there's always stuff you can do. So, right now I'm just going to gather some wood. Just, you know, a couple of logs. You can dig up these stumps once you craft a shovel, but I believe you need a science machine to craft a shovel now. Yeah. And that's not something I really want to build until I have a definite base. And really all you need to establish a definite base is a bunch of stones so that you can build a stone fire pit. That's just sort of the basis of your headquarters. They use a lot less wood, and they burn for longer. They stay, you know, they don't disappear every night. This campfire will disappear once I let it burn down, but stone fireplaces remain. It's just useful to have them. Alright, so I'm going to cook up a couple of these carrots. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, you know, you can eat food raw, or you can cook it, and some foods you want to leave raw. Carrots and berries, I think, just restore a little bit extra hunger when they're cooked. I think they might restore more hunger and less health. Now, some people save carrots because they can be used to trap bunnies, but bunnies also will just walk into traps over time, so I think it's just a waste of carrots, personally. Okay, so let's see. I guess really all I want to do today is continue to gather resources and just find an area where I can very confidently build a good base. So let's try to do that. Alright, so Just gathering grass. Is this a road? No. I'm just bugging out. Okay. Let's find out. Let's just follow the edge of the island. It's always a good idea. It makes it easier to map out the whole island if you kind of establish where the end of it is. I'm actually not sure what the default size of these worlds is. I know there's like small, medium, large, and huge, something like that. Let's try to avoid this web. Alright, and that's the end. I'm not sure if the default is huge or if it's medium or something like that, but they're pretty huge. I mean, no matter what size your island is, you're always going to have like an infinite amount of stuff. Okay, now this is one of the items that you need to like basically escape the island. You can escape the island, you get experience based on how long you survived, and you can pick a new, no, not a new character, you need a tent for that. You can like generate a new world if you find all of those things that I just passed. There's like 5 of them, and they're all just called things. It's like the ring thing, the wooden thing, the something thing. Some of them are guarded by unique enemies, kind of, not unique, but special enemies that are actually really useful to, actually have really useful drops. The wooden thing in particular is guarded by all these chess pieces. And not only can you find marble near it, but you can get gears, which allow you to build refrigerators, which are good for storing food. Spoiling food is always a challenge to deal with. You have to be careful how you harvest your food, and not over harvesting because it'll go bad and stuff like that. You don't want your food going bad. Trust me. Alright, I've got 11 logs, so I've got plenty of wood for tonight. I don't really have to worry about trees right now. But I do want to find a good spot for a base. I might have to go down to where these meadows are. But then again, there might be a really nice big meadow down here. I'm just looking for a big old meadow. Plenty of space for good spawns. Maximum size for a stack is 40 for grass, twigs, and flint. 20 for logs. So sometimes I try to maintain a stack of each later in the game. Some of the items you can craft require a lot of these basic materials. I think traps require 6 grass, so you make 4 traps, you're basically out of grass. So let's just see. Okay, now here's another thing I should be doing. Just make a pickaxe real quick, equip it with the right click, and just start getting some rocks. Now really, I should just be mining the bigger rocks that have little flecks of gold in them. This is niter, it's useless for most of the game. You can use it to make bombs, but it doesn't despawn, and you're not going to need it for hours. Might as well just leave it. Alright, see, I'm going to need about 12 rocks to build a fire pit. But I also haven't really found a place to build a fire pit yet, so no. Let's go ahead and leave some of these flowers, take most of them. More food here. Still doing fine for food. Probably pick up some berries tonight since they're starting to spoil. Oh, it's dusk already. Okay. This is an okay. Nah, this is a tiny meadow. This is useless to me. Eventually, I want to dig up like a whole bunch of these berry bushes and plant them near my camp, because it's great to have a bunch of berry bushes that you can just sort of let flower and then just leave throughout the winter and just pick them whenever you want. It's a good way to avoid, to have a stockpile of food and avoid it going bad. Also, berry bushes don't grow in the winter, so you can let them grow berries and then just leave them at the start of winter, and they won't, despawn or anything. See, this is a big meadow, but it's, I don't know, it doesn't really have, it's kind of empty. So it may not be the best place for a base. Also starting to get far away from the beefalo now. Should probably turn back. A couple spiders. And on day 2, most people say, you don't really need to build a base till day 5. Ooh, these are good to know where these are. Bee nests. Definitely want a couple of those later. Ooh, a lot of boards. skeleton. These are kind of randomly spawning dead people that they don't do anything, but they have a lot of items around them usually. And these guys, these gobblers, are a pain in the ass because they eat berries. Fortunately, that one seemed to just kind of go to sleep there. Let's see. There's so much to do in this game, I tend to lose sight of what my current goal is, which right now is really just finding a good spot for a base. Now, this isn't a bad area here. Somewhere kind of like this. Lots of open space. I may build my fire right here tonight.